Welcome to the TCS Podcast. I'm Kyle Smith. I'm the team manager. I'm here with Josh. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Josh Miller. I've been playing with Team Collector Stores since probably 2012, so it's been a while.
And then our guest today is Xu. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Hi guys, I'm Shunping Xu. I just won the last UDS and topped the YCS V3 Las Vegas. I feel like everyone know me now.
All right, so let's get into our first topic of the night. We're just going to be talking to Xu about his career and stuff. So with that said, we'll start with what got you started in Yu-Gi-Oh! Casually or competitively? Whatever you got into the game first.
It's probably a long time ago. I feel like that's maybe same or similar for majority of people in the game. They just went with young, like lower school probably. Someone random in the class just brought some cards to the school, and suddenly everyone's on the cards now. I feel like that's how I started the game casually, at least. But we still play the rules like MS Negates, things like those. For competitively, I think I started around early 2014. I think that's when I started travel to like big events like YCS, and I just keep doing that for like years and years. That's it.
Question to follow that one up. So where'd you start playing at competitively? Like, where'd you start playing the game? Where's your like first locals and stuff like that?
I came to this country during like late 2011 for high school. I think at the same time I just started to go to like locals to play like random like weekly local tournaments. But let me see. I think I just looked for like the beginning year or two. Then I go to like one or two regional during 2012 and 13, and 2014. Oh yeah, the fun fact. Like the reason I actually go to the event because I was actually just planning a college visit at the same time. I was like, might as well just do it at the same time, right?
Yeah.
I think that's how I started.
It's a good plan.
Yeah.
Were you good from the start of your competitive career? If not, what helped you get better at the game?
So I think, let me see. At the beginning, I was definitely just not good. It's like, a decent local level, but at competitive events, absolutely not. Like, I was struggling to day two for a long time. Let me see. I think when I start to consistently day two, it probably took me close to 2 years to play competitive. And when I start to fun fact, I didn't even get my first Konami top until about like 4 years after I started playing, like traveling for events.
That's fair. I haven't
that
got
was a
mine
rough
yet.
time. They just keep bubbling for like 4 years straight. And like I don't even know how specifically I got better. It's probably just like playing, non-stopping. Although just not getting there, but still just not giving up on it. It's having fun. Like I'm already to a point I don't even expecting myself to do well. I just want to enjoy the event. It's like the more pressure or the more expectation I give to myself, the worse I end with. And that's just what happened to me for the first 4 years. So yeah, I think the way like the thing that keep me or making me better is that I start to expecting less and less, so I have less and less pressure to play and get better at that point.
You're more of like a theory player then, rather than testing. Is that what you're saying, or no?
I'm like half, I would say.
Half, okay.
Kind of well around.
Tell us how you like to prepare for a tournament and how much time you put into preparing. You kind of already touched on that a little bit.
Yeah, I think like the best way for me to prepare events now is actually go to like a regional and actually play it. Because I'm around like East Coast, like tri-state area. All the regionals here are like just YCS level regionals. It's always like 8 to 9 rounds minimum. So that's like a good practice for to like it's just like a practicing to see how well I can do for day one, pretty much. If I'm able to top it with like an X1, then I have a very good chance to go into day two and maybe making the top cut. I think that's just like the way I like to do it now to prepare for my events.
Actually, I wanted to ask you something because you said you don't like you really don't think that you're gonna do well when you go into tournaments. Is that you said that?
It's not like I don't think I'll do well. It's just I don't want to push myself to do like imagine like someone going to tournament saying I'm guaranteed topping the event. I just completely give up like those kind of thinking in my mind. I'll just do it the best I can. That's usually how I thought.
So you're more so just like taking it one round at a time rather than thinking like, oh, I'm gonna win this tournament. You're thinking I'm gonna win this match. That's more so what you're. Yeah. Okay.
Like the first 4 years, I was like, let me just try to top this event at least, and that just never happened for like 4 years.
Yeah.
So like that kind of thinking ended up just being like a curse in my mind.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I understand because you're not focusing on like the current match you're playing in if you're thinking about winning the tournament. Yeah, that makes sense for sure.
Yeah.
Also, I had a question. Since we're on the topic of like YCSs and events. So when you were like first started playing competitively, who were some players you like looked up to as like icons, I guess, when you were playing?
Let me see. That time. Let me try to think.
The 2014, right?
Yeah, 14, 15, I think that's when Patrick Hogan was topping, winning a lot of events. I think I definitely just look into him for at least something. And I think the other one is Jeff Jones. Like, Jeff was also doing, Jeff was also doing well at that point.
True.
Ever read Hogan's book?
I really wanted to, but when I actually, tried to get one, it sold out everywhere.
I have a copy of it if you
maybe.
read it.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'll probably.
You already got 2 wins, but it's not like you really need it anymore. But it's got a lot of good information in it that I was not really thinking about before I read it.
You could write the next book. There you go.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, you can literally. Maybe. You're a smart guy.
I'm terrible at writing, though.
Okay. So the next topic I want to get into, because you're kind of known for like your unique deck building, like you played Mallet and Striker a lot. So I was just wanted to get like your general deck building philosophy, like.
Well, that's
the way you approach it.
I don't know, to be honest. I think I was just born this way. I won't even call myself a good deck builder, to be honest. My advantage was since I'm from OCG China, and I've also known the Chinese people who's in other TCG territories. So I have a lot of connection throughout the entire world. That means I gather way more information than everyone else does. So maybe you think I'm just playing some new deck, but it might just be the information from other regions or even the past OCG region past formats results. I'm just good at gathering data together. That's my strongest part.
So you're saying basically the OCG has influenced your play style here as well?
Yeah, some definitely the deck infos, small ideas in specific decks. I'm able to gathering those from the OCG part and maybe apply it to the TCG decks. That's the part. That's the thing I usually do for a lot of times.
I see.
Also I know a lot of people around the world. Some maybe even know what the Euro trend is, and maybe even applied it to here to the US tournaments. Those happens a lot.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I just have a very big information net around the entire world. That's how it is. Yeah, I also think I think for a deck maybe we score it from 0 to 100. I'm actually very bad at making it like the 0 to 60 part, the beginning, the skeleton part. I'm not good at it.
Oh yeah.
Like my strongest part is from like 60 to 90, just how to like adjust it, like an existing list and make it better.
Yeah.
I think that's my strongest part of like a deck in general.
What you're kind of saying is you're really good at finding tech cards. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like okay. I'm able to like making small changes to make it more consistent, that kind of thing.
Well, tech cards was actually a topic we were going to touch on if we had extra time at the end. But since you said that's a big part of your deck building, do you want to like just start talking about some like tech cards in general right now?
Like right now, or you mean like what specific?
Like tech cards you would think are like good in the current metagame.
I feel like this current metagame is like pretty defined. It's usually just like for the tech cards, usually I want my tech cards to meet a specific situation that's effective. Like I put my Ash in the deck because I want to stop shut-off fusion. That's a very specific case, but that's like very popular being played. Like I want Cosmic in my Rocket deck because I don't want to lose to Mr. Mine. And in like situation where your opponent goes activate Soul, send Magic, send Master Plan, then Big Red, Cosmic still works here. It just like I'm like imagine I'm like a movie director. I just want a specific scene, and I want to have an instant to it.
Got you. That's very interesting. I like that. I never thought about it like that, but it's a good analogy. I like that a lot. So, I mean, you already brought up the Rocket deck a little bit, and that's actually our next topic. So maybe you can talk about that a little bit, like why you chose it. Cause I know no one else is looking at it.
Yeah,
like, you brought that. Like I know it was good in the OCG, so that probably has a lot to do with it. So
first, it was a tier 0 deck back then in summer OCG because they have everything. There's like Ib, Needle Fiber, Appaloosa, Agripane, Gumbler, Maxi, everything. So and the period wasn't even out at that point. So it was like a tier 0 in the entire meta OCG. I played it, so I know how to play the basic things. Then when the TCG dropped the January list that like killed everything, I was like, I don't know what to play. So the first couple weeks, I was playing just like I was just copying decks from from the tournament results. Like I copied the Ultra guys that won the PPG. Couple Spiral and Luna from like regional top or the PPG top, but I just ended with not liking any of those. So one day I go into like one of my Chinese people group chat, and they were just mentioning that some of my friends were preparing a Rocket deck for YCS Ultra. I think that happens like 3-4 weeks before UDS, before Tulsa. So I was like, if they trying to bring a deck to Utrecht, they at least gotta have something, right? It's a deck I've played before. So I just asked them like the ideas, the list, and I brought it to a regional the week before Tulsa. That was the first tournament for the deck. And I ended with X11 at a 9-round regional. So it's a pretty good result. And that one draw could be prevented if I actually had the Scarline in the side deck to burn in time. So technically, I could be X1 for a 9-round. Like for UDS, that's like just guaranteed passing day 1 going to day 2. And if I'm lucky, I'm able to top gun. That's what the X1 the regional says. So I was like, this deck is definitely worse me to bring it to the UDS, and at least that's something I'm like feel good playing about it compared to Spiral, Luna, and everything else. So I just say, yeah, let's do it. And I was only expecting like a guaranteed day 2 and maybe a lucky top cut. But it turns out slightly better than I expected. So yeah, I take it.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I have to assume like a reason, like a factor in that is that the TCG like just kind of forgot about that deck. So I bet a lot of players did not know what you were doing at all, right?
Yeah, that's true. Like TCG never really had a Dragon Link format. I remember like some people were playing it after the rocket structure was out, before Nibiru was released in the Mega Team. But that's like a very, very short period of time with almost no events. So yeah, like most people here just never even experienced the deck. I've got so many people just asking me what does everything do in the entire tournament.
Yeah.
That's exactly when I decided to Scarlet burn them in time.
I had a question about the UDS. So going into the UDS, like a few days prior, I think the Shadal structure deck was released, and that was like a huge wave of people getting onto that. Were you expecting a lot of Shadal going to the UDS?
No, to be honest, because like the Shadal deck, while I was like figuring we're building the Shadal deck, I find out it has like a terrible matchup against Ultra Guys. And we know Ultra Guys like wasn't small, it was like at least if not second or third the best deck. True. Along with Spy Luna. So like I'm not gonna bring a deck where I'm not sure if it's gonna be good, like super amazing against Spy Luna or not. And at the same time losing hard to Ultra Guys. Like I just don't think I would do that. Also, like I've never touched a Shadal deck because like that. I mean, I played it back in 2014 and 15, but not with the new cards because those cards came out after I came back to US already. Like those cards came out last year, maybe November, I think, in OCG. And at that point, I was already back to TCG, so I never even touched those cards. I have no knowledge about those.
That's fair. I would assume that the Rocket deck is not the best against Winda, but you found a way around it, I guess, in the finals.
It's actually just not like after people ask me how do I deal with Winda, I brainstorm a little bit. I realized I could just crush it with Silver Rocket with a blue sector on the field.
Yeah, that's what.
And I'm like not even losing anything by doing that.
Yeah, that's what you covered in your deck profile. You mentioned that.
Yeah. So. Yes. And also F5 full combo going first, and there's like enough things to stop Winda. I mean, stop the entire deck.
Yeah, that's the goal with Rocket.
Yeah. And yeah, I think that's pretty much. I like to play the deck because I played it, and probably the only deck I like to play at this current format. And surprisingly, it turns out it might just be the best deck in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, you didn't drop a match at the UDS, right? Yeah. I mean, you scooped twice, but that's not losing.
Yeah, like I didn't even sit down. The judges were actually trying to feature match me because they know I'm playing. But I was like, I'm just gonna give the win to my opponent, not even sitting down.
That's funny. Any like cool stories from your matches? Like I don't know, like maybe like. Yeah, from the UDS, like maybe like a funny interaction with like an opponent or something, like not understanding the deck.
There's one run, I think it was like the first round, day 2, I was playing against an Ultra guy who's my friend. And so I think at the point game 2, I Lightning Storm and triggered Awakened Dragon. So he summoned Last Warrior, where technically my out in the deck was to draw the second Lightning Storm and resolve it to out it and the combo, which I didn't have at that point. I think what happened was I somehow managed to draw or access to Rocky Recharger as naturally 21 defense. So I just set it and activate Boost Sector. And somehow at that point my Rocky Recharger has 24 defense, and Last Warrior only has 23. So starting that turn, we're just sitting next to each other, setting a draw set, discard pass for like maybe 10 turns. Until I think he decided to unlock it first. So he tribute the last word to set a query, then flip other alter guys to do things. But I think I survived because I kept like 2 evenly in the hand. So after he attacked me, he wasn't able to kill me. I just dropped double evenly, cleared the board, then we traded for another like 1 or 2 turns, and I won by doing that.
That's quite an interaction.
Yeah. I think if he just decided to sit there with just last word at the front and me having a recharger, it would eventually I think he would eventually deck me out because I searched more. And yeah, I think that's probably what's gonna happen.
So going.
That was like one of the scariest game 2. Yeah. Also, it was a game 2 for me. So even I just lost that game, I'm fine with it. Because I either have a game 3 or I take a draw.
Moral of the story was like pretty much never scoop. Like essentially.
Yeah. And I somehow have a 24 defense that I can straight set to the field.
So going forward with Master Rule 5, do you think Rocket's still the go-to deck, or you think something else is going to be up there?
Well, first, I don't even think the Master Rule, like the rule change, will causing anything different at this point. Like, Invoke and Shaddolls can make their fusion down there so they can manage their resource a little bit more efficiently. That's probably the only difference in the entire format, I'll say. I'm fear like the battle is going to causing more like impact to the current meta instead of the rule change.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at too.
I think everyone's expecting a balance like early mid-April. Like we just know like Charlotte got canceled today, but if Charlotte like is still happening, I would assume there will be another new list before Hartford. So they can have like 2 YCS on the different ban lists. But now since Charlotte canceled, it's like unknown when they're gonna release the list.
Yeah, I can see that.
I know there'll probably be a lot of players trying to learn stuff here, so I think it might be cool to touch on side decking a little bit. Like maybe you can give them some pointers, like how you side deck and how you even build a side deck.
So I was preparing for Charlotte for the past couple of days, and let me see. Like, I started liking Phantasme as a main deck card, because the Luna deck would now is all the new cards and do overload. Chip Tiger can just make a lot of things. One of the scariest one is the Apex Avian Thunderbird Infinite Negates with Infinity. I think that's one of the most scary ones.
Yeah, it's a pretty scary board.
Yeah, that board actually, like Phantas could be good against a couple different factors against that board. Because the Infinity is summoned by the Random Magic tier 23 if they don't decide to waste a monster for Infinity effect. So if you drop the Phantas, you can maybe just straight beat over it. And let me see.
Makes sense.
And Phantas draw you cards, so you are hoping your Phantas drew you like a Dark Ruler, which can nuke the entire board for your opponent.
Mm-hmm.
And for the good part for the Dragon deck is like Phantas itself is a dragon, so after you Phantas your opponent and Dark Ruler, you just only need to normal summon a dragon, make rock, then you can just full combo there.
That's pretty smart.
Yeah. I think that's one of the sword attack cards because I'm like trying to see an oust to that specific board.
Yeah.
Other thing is just like the standard because at least for my rocket deck, I have not many things touching the back rows. So I originally already had like Lightning Storm, Evenly, and Reboot. Now maybe just like Syncrotox is always the card I want to play. I just don't have space usually in the side. And maybe even Raigeki, to be honest. Like like there's more like monster negations on the board after the Overload. So you either like it's just another Lightning Storm most of the time, which isn't bad.
Yeah.
And besides that, not much. I'm expecting like way more combos post dual overload.
Yeah, there's a
compared
lot of
to like the trap deck.
there's a lot of combo like starters with dual overload now.
Yeah. The other combo that's scary is the size tornado, because that board can be made even after you Imperial your opponent if they have 4 monsters, like against a Luna, for example. And that board probably only lose to like Cosmic, DD Crow, Call By.
Yeah,
which is
very specific stuff.
All those are like very good interruptions for the current format.
Yeah, it's like you have to play very specific cards to deal with that kind of stuff too. So.
Yeah, but those specific cards is like not good in
right.
general. Like, so if you drop a Phantasder, at least you have something, right? Hopefully.
Yeah. In your deck, it'll help a lot probably. So.
Yeah, and the other thing scary is the Union Carrier equipping the Buster Blader thing. So at that point, you just need to join out to out that, otherwise you can't play. So yeah, that's why I think like I will probably choose Phantaz and Cosmic, maybe DD Crow as like the non-engine cards in my deck, because I just want to out those kind of specific boards.
Yeah, I could see a lot of decks going forward main decking outs to stuff like that. Yeah. Like they just put side deck stuff in their main deck instead. So.
Yeah, and post master rules, I actually haven't even have any thoughts yet. I'm just waiting for a big battle to nuke everything again.
Yeah,
and I can start from zero after that.
Yeah, that'll probably happen too.
Yeah, I don't know. Like at this point, it's hard to predict when the event is gonna be because there's just no events in the middle. Oh, there's one. There's like 225s coming in this weekend, but that's all the events at this point, I think.
You just have them touch on like the differences between like an OCG player and a TCG. Like, is there a difference between like your elite OCG player and TCG, like in play style or anything?
No big difference, but it's like let me see. I think at least for my area, like I'm from Shanghai in China, which is like the best part in China. So technically, like all the players there are like the most competitive player in the entire country. So based on that assumption, everyone's like expecting to be good with like good knowledge to everything. So it's like it's harder to have like for real tournaments. Everyone's just gonna be very strict on like no takebacks. Like from the TCG standpoint, everyone's just kind of sharking a little bit, but that's like it's just a normal thing over there. It just because everyone expecting everyone else to be good. So obviously you're not allowed to like a take back or anything like those.
True.
Yeah. Besides that, not much.
So in the OCG, what are like the bigger events like compared to like the local events? Are they like similar?
Well, TCG events are way bigger than OCG events because like the TCG territory is just way bigger. So like imagine at least for my like OCG China, it's more like the big events are just like AOGs, PPGs, those like 200-300 at most like 4 or 5, but the ratio for competitive player is way higher. There's only the real one want to travel and play.
True.
Yeah, that's how it is. There's not like 1,000, 2,000 people YCS with like half of them being random people. That just never happens.
Mm-hmm.
Really, just want to say I feel for everyone who is losing out on money from Charlotte being canceled. That's just fucking shitty. And onces, I guess. I know you're one of them, Shu, right?
Yeah, but I mean, my ticket was $60, so I didn't even care.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, that's not. I'm sure other people spent way more than that, but yeah, 60's nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
So hopefully.
I'm also like, might get a refund. I requested. It's just I don't know if we'll go through. To be honest.
Hopefully.
Honestly, I don't care. Honestly, I don't care.
Hopefully this thing going
around.
around.
You got a belt, so
yeah.
It's kind of hard to be sad this month, right?
Yeah. I just sad. Like my local actually had 2 VIP tournaments, but those just go into a waste.
Dang.
So with them ending the UDS, you still get all the perks from having that belt still, right?
Yeah.
And the perks, did it?
I think I saw somewhere you get it until 2025 or something. I don't
yeah,
remember.
I will have like the next 5 years until sometime 2025. They haven't announced a specific date.
Gotcha. That's pretty cool.
That's cool. I hope they do something to replace the UDS because those tournaments are honestly like really cool. Like I never played in one, but those pins, I've got a lot of them. They're sick.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool, but the turnout is never huge. I think the biggest UDS was like 300 something, and most 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they'll replace it with a different event.
Makes sense though, because you have to like qualify for it, right?
To be honest, like the program's been around 5 years already, and it should be like bigger and bigger by the end, right? Because everyone just has so many points if they not going to events.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just not the case. The tournament is still around like for this UDS, the past one at Tulsa, we're like 240 people. So we are 13 people short to have like another round to make the top 16.
Wow.
Yeah, which is like, it's the last one. So there's still a lot of people just not going. So who knows?
Yeah.
There's definitely a lot of people with more than 200 or even just 100 points, but they just still decide not to travel to it.
Yeah.
I don't understand that because that's probably like the best prize support in any tournament, like for sure. It doesn't.
I think
I mean,
for this one,
cash would be a lot better, but you know.
I think for this one
specifically,
for this one specifically, is because Vegas is too close to Tulsa, so people are just choosing either or, and they end up choosing the 33G of Vegas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The turnout big for the 3v3. I didn't really pay attention.
It was like a little bit under 1,500, so like a little bit under 500 team. We're also like probably like 30 people short to have another run for the Vegas.
Wow.
So we could talk a little bit about like the 3v3 and like how that experience was for you. We didn't really touch on that at all. That's your most fresh top.
Well, first, like, I asked Konami, they were like, they didn't bring enough clocks. And when they do the floor plan, they didn't realize there are so many giant pillars in the middle of the tournament. So if like you go to the YCS and you're like X2, it's just impossible for you to see the clock in the other side of the room.
Mm-hmm.
And also due to that, the VIP corner actually was terrible this time because there's no clock. And besides that, like, that's probably the only downside. It's like weird to actually go to the 3v3 because it's only 9 rounds with 2 round by.
Yeah. So
how well did your like team and your teammates do? Did it go? Were you carrying them mostly? I know you had some pretty good players on your team. You probably weren't carrying them.
All 3 of us were good, but Manav was like completely new on the deck. So we spent a lot of effort to teach him how to play it, even including the first 2 rounds we played. So like I started with X2 because I couldn't focus on my own game. But after that, when Manav like started to like pick up the deck and he's able to do everything by himself, so I can focus my own game. At that point, I start winning until top cut. I just didn't drop a single match at that point.
So can you explain how a 3v3 works? Do you have to it's you versus one other player and then your
it's
team?
pretty much just like 3 individual match, except like you can't if you instead of like 2 out of 3 for each match, you also count 2 out of 3 for each team member for the entire team.
Okay.
Yeah. And besides that, not much. Like we unfortunately just like I lost at top cut due to like so many unfortunate things happened at the same time. 2 of us, like me and Cody both brick going first, and Manav got a game loss for deckless. That happened at the same time.
Wow.
So it was just unfortunate. Like for the Rocket deck, the good part for it, I would say, is just mainly its consistency. And for 2 of us breaking at the same time, it's just like almost they should have happened, but did happen, so we lost. Overall, the 3v3 was pretty good. I think Konami's expecting more people for the 3v3.
It was pretty good.
I was even expecting maybe 600-700 teams, so over 2K people, but it ended with a little bit under 15.
Yeah. It's still a pretty good turnout if you compare it to regular YCSs, I think.
Yeah, the room was huge.
Yeah. So how did you like join the team, and like who were the people on the team that got you to join and all that kind of stuff for Team Collector stuff?
Yeah, I think after my first YCS, the YCS winning Pasadena, I got a decent number of team requests asking me to join their team, and I went back to China for Christmas. And after I came back, I made a decision to join Team TCS because Joe Bogley was in the team. So I think I was trying to like team with him to get ready for the first 3v3 YCS. I think that was the reason.
Gotcha, that's a good reason.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, well that was really it for today. That was our first podcast on Team Collector Store. Thanks for joining us on this first episode of the TCS Podcast. I'm Josh Miller, joined by Kyle Smith and Shunping Xu. We'll catch you next time on the next TCS Podcast. We'll catch you later.